Hi everybody, it's Whitney Easton here. I am the author of the More Than Borderline blog with HealthyPlace, and today I'm going to talk about perfectionism that goes along with borderline personality disorder. I'm going to talk about this because it's really affected my life, and especially as I've become less symptomatic with typical borderline stuff, this is one of the big things that I've dealt with in my life. And I think that it comes from just this feeling of I'm not enough and from having struggled so much emotionally in my life that I feel like I need to overcompensate by being perfect in some areas of my life. So I'm going to tell you 3 ways that perfectionism has affected me because of borderline personality disorder. And the first one that I want to say, it was hard for me to even hop on this video today and to get started, has to do with body image. It's not uncommon for someone with borderline personality disorder to have some type of co-occurring disorder, like an eating disorder. Anorexia is certainly a part of my past, and perfectionism with physical appearance. So a sort of body dysmorphia where what I see when I look in the mirror, or in this case the camera, isn't often congruent and doesn't line up with what other people see. And really just being hard on myself with physical appearance, with size, and thinking that I can control what I feel like on the inside emotionally by keeping my body quote unquote perfect. And this has been sort of a lifelong journey for me and is something that I still really have to work on today. The second thing is that perfectionism shows up for me in my relationships. And I think that this goes along with the black and white thinking, which I'll link below because I know I've talked about this in other videos. But basically, it's this feeling of I feel inadequate on the inside emotionally. I feel like I can't be perfect in relationships. So it's, well, if I can't be perfect, then screw it. I'll just throw the relationship out the window. It's a very extreme way of thinking. So I'm either all bad or all good. I'm either a monster or I have to be perfect. And the reality is that I'm not perfect. I'm just a human being. Sometimes I make mistakes in my relationships, and I've experienced a lot of healing with that and just seeing myself as an imperfect person that sometimes makes mistakes in my relationships, and that's a very normal thing, not just a borderline thing. But in the past, certainly I would sort of sabotage something, a relationship, if I felt like I couldn't live up to this ridiculous standard that I set for myself. And the last thing is that perfectionism has showed up for me professionally and with my professional life. So I have set this really high standard for myself. You know, I was the captain of the track team and a valedictorian and just this constant achieving. And again, I think it comes from this feeling of feeling like I'm not enough on the inside, feeling empty, feeling that chronic borderline emptiness feeling, and thinking that if I just excessively overachieve, that I can fill myself up. It's kind of a never-ending hole. That is something that I'm still working on, and I still struggle with that, even just as a writer and someone who's public, and just letting this video be imperfect today. So that's what I have. Read the rest of the blog, and thanks for tuning in today about perfectionism and borderline personality disorder.